This is a place.
This is a place?
This is a place. We want to talk about. This is a place.
Welcome to this week's episode of This is a Place podcast. My name is Nate.
And my name is Brandon.
And happy Great American Grump Out Day. Hey, Great America, let's give our grumpy mood a day off today. Who do we know that needs to celebrate this day?
Matt?
Yes. We're not grumpy. We're never grumpy. We've got the
sunshine
on a cloudy day. We got the PMA. We got the positive mental attitude, which you need to do if you're ever going to go to the gym.
Just right into it, huh?
Yeah, there's no messing around when you go to the gym. Can I tell you a story?
Yes, always.
I once asked a girl out to go to the gym.
That was the date idea?
Yeah, the date was to go to the gym. And
first date?
What's that?
First date?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe second, maybe third.
Okay.
I'm telling the story here. You stop asking questions.
Okay. Reserve my judgments.
I asked her to go to the gym. She said yes. And then she called and canceled. Right then, I knew we weren't going to work out.
Should have known. I
should have known. Should have known.
Jeez. I was just thinking about it. Like, if you want to have a relationship built on working out, that's one way to do it. First date, going to the gym. It's quite audacious of a date idea.
Right. Well, hopefully, if you were to do that, you were in good shape to begin with. You're just doing it to flex your muscles, to do a flex.
There you go. Show them how strong you are.
Yeah.
I've never been on a date to the gym. In fact, I don't think my wife and I have never been to the gym together.
Really?
Let me think about this. No, I don't think so.
So I have my, I did a couple times. Yeah. I've gone to the gym a couple times with the ladies on dates ish or dating somebody. And one of them yelled at me in the gym. I'm like, oh, you don't do that. So I just walked outside the gym. I'm like, oh, you don't ever yell at me in public. Like, if you have something to say, you wait until we're in private, because I don't play that game. Anyways, we obviously didn't work out.
The joke that keeps on giving.
I'm giving. When I returned home from my mission, there was a 24-hour fitness over in Sandy. And I think they had just turned, it was I think it was called Allied home, what do you call it? I want to say Home Depot, but that's the name of the store. Hardware store, geez. And then they turned it into a 24-hour fitness. So they were doing their whole promotion, every gym does when they open up, they have specials. So they're like, if you sign up, if you buy 2 years up front, so it was $500, we'll give you your third year free. And then your annual renewal is only $99 a year for the rest of your life. So I'm like, sweet, sign me up. So I did that. Then when I got married to my wife, they opened up a 24-hour fitness in Murray, did a very similar deal. So I signed her up. I've had my wife's membership. We've been married for 21 years now. And I've still have her membership going because it's hard to cancel a $99 a year membership. And she's probably been maybe a dozen times in 21 years. So I always say, if you spend $100 a month on a membership or more and you use it quite often, it's worth it. If you spend $10 a month, kind of what we're spending, it's not worth it. But it's so hard to cancel that thing because I feel like any day now she's going to be all right. I'm into this. I want to go to the gym, and then
That'll be the
super
day you
expensive.
cancel it.
But between the both of us, I think our membership, it's like $15 a month, and then maybe I'm getting ahead of the show here, but 24-hour fitness, if you guys don't know, went under. And at the time, I could go to any 24-hour fitness in the world. And I did that when I traveled. I did hit up a few 24-hour fitnesses. I got the hiccups. And when they went down during COVID, Vasa Fitness decided to step in and buy the contracts. And I'm like, okay, cool, sweet, no problem. And then I went to one location and worked out, and then I tried to go to another location. They're like, oh, you don't have a membership or something like that. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they're like, oh, wait, you can only go to one Vasa Fitness. You have to pick one location. That's the only, you can't go to any of them. I'm like, well, that's lame, because 24-hour fitness, I could go to any of them, but now I can only go to one Vasa. I think that's kind of dumb. So I'm starting out this episode saying, kind of don't really appreciate you, Vasa Fitness, for treating me that way.
This episode is not an appreciation episode. It's a call out episode.
It's a call out. It's a call out episode. So a little frustrated, but then again, like I said, it's so cheap. I just keep it going. Because even if I were to cancel my wife's membership and whatever, then it's we're basically paying 2 for 1 anyways with $15 a month, because you can't really beat that deal. And like I said, it's only one gym. But the thing is, if you're not going at all, it doesn't matter if you can go to every gym in the world if you're not going. But someday, you and I, for a while, we did pretty good a couple years ago. We were going like, what, 3 times a week?
Yeah.
You remember we got like super ripped, and what do they call it? Swole? We
got real swole.
Got really swole.
We should probably get back to that.
To doing that?
Yeah.
I think so. I've been doing bad this year. Last year I was going with another friend who has like the upper tier membership there, which I think you get at least 1, if not 2 people guest in every time you go. So it's kind of dumb that I'm a member of Vasa, but I'd have to sign the guest form like every time I went to, because we would go to the one in South Jordan off the Bangor Highway, which was nice. Each one kind of has its own thing. Different things that they offer, but they're all pretty similar. They all have weights. They got people working out.
We'll be right back.
It's not up for you to decide whether I can or can't do it. You ask me what you need done, and I'll either say yes or no, but more often than not, I will find a way. Don't just assume you know what a person with a disability can or can't do.
Before we get too much into the meat of it, through your extensive research, did you find out what Vasa means? Where does that name come from?
They meant to say casa, and I don't have no idea what Vasa means.
I don't either, but I've got my closest guess. There's a ship called the Vasa. It's a Swedish warship built between 1626 and 1628. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this is where the name comes from, and say this is not the name they should have chosen because of the fate of this ship. Means Vasa is a sinking ship.
Interesting.
The ship sank after sailing roughly 1,300 miles into her maiden voyage on August 10th, 1628. She fell into obscurity after most of her valuable bronze cannons were salvaged in the 17th century until she was located again in the late 1950s in a busy shipping area in Stockholm Harbor. The ship was salvaged with a largely intact hull in 1961. She was housed in a temporary museum called Wasavarvet, or in other words, the Vasa Shipyard, until 1988, and then moved permanently to the Vasa Museum in the Royal National City Park in Stockholm. Between her recovery in 1961 and the beginning of 2025, Vasa has been seen by over 45 million visitors. So, if we can look at it this way, there's a couple different ways we could go. Number one, Voss is a sinking ship, maybe. Number two, they want to lift people up out of obscurity and build them up again. Or
Okay.
number three, they want to be the biggest gym and have 45 million members and lots of money.
Or number four, the name Vasa is inspired by a Scandinavian word meaning vitality, a fitting choice for a company focused on energizing individuals and communities through accessible and engaging health and wellness offerings.
I asked in your extensive research if you figured it out, and you just let me go with it.
Because my internet's slow.
Your internet's slow. I mean, it usually takes us a week to investigate and do our research, but all right, your way's probably straight from the company handbook. That's probably the meaning. But I like thinking about the sinking ship. That's more fun.
Yes. Well, where did Vasa come from? How long have they been around?
Man, it felt like a really hard pivot, didn't it? Like overnight, we went from Gold's Gym, Arnold Schwarzenegger commercials, and then one day we woke up and it was Vasa. Everything was Vasa.
Yeah, I remember there might have been a Gold's Gym in Sandy by my house growing up in the 80s, maybe early 90s, and then it went away. And I always thought it'd be cool because Arnold always wore Gold's Gym stuff, right? But growing up, when I started entering the exercise world and lifting weights and stuff, there was a gym, and I wonder if you could have. I don't think you were old enough because there was one right across the street from Conway High School called Lifestyles 2000.
Across the street? Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then it's a Gold's Gym, and then I think they left Gold's Gym in that area, but they moved it down a few spots in that little strip mall thing. But yeah, Lifestyles 2000. We haven't talked about that, have we?
I actually looked at it today and I was like, oh, that's on our list. Maybe we should do that. But then I landed on Vasa instead.
Okay.
Sorry.
Maybe we'll talk about that later. But here's the hit. I mean, Lifestyles 2000 was around for a long time. My mom even had like a lifetime membership to Lifestyles 2000. And then I don't remember how. Anyways, I'd have to look that up. We'll talk about Lifestyles 2000. Gold's Gym came in and bought out Lifestyles 2000. And then was it 2014 that Vasa then started buying out Gold's Gym, and they haven't looked back ever since.
So did you go to Gold's Gym back in the day ever?
I did go. I went to Lifestyles 2000.
Okay, but like actual Gold's Gym you went to?
At when Lifestyles became Gold's Gym, is that what you're asking, or back way back when?
I guess when it became Gold's Gym.
Yes. So I worked out at Lifestyles. I've worked out at Gold's Gym. And I've worked out at Vasa. I've worked out at 24-Hour Fitness. I've worked out at Bally's Total Fitness. I've worked out at the rec centers. I've worked out of hotel rooms before, or hotel gyms.
So what do we know what year that happened when Vasa kind of came?
We sure do. 2014.
Oh, is that what you said? Sorry.
Yeah. The company rebranded as Vasa in 2014 from Gold's Gym.
Aren't there still Gold's Gyms around though?
That's a good question. I would think so.
I think in California.
Yeah, I would say
other places. Yeah, it looks like it's still a thing. There's still a website. But are they Is it actually it's a Utah company, right? Gold's Gym. That's kind of where it started.
I don't know. That's a good question. I know Vasa's headquarters, their headquarters are in Orem, aren't they?
Yeah, so they probably are. They're probably a Utah
Oh
company.
wait, Gold's Gym has its headquarters in Dallas.
But Vasa is
Vasa's
in
here
Orem.
is in Orem, is my understanding.
But go ahead and say they are a local company. So 2014. Yeah, I don't know if I got the chance to go to a Gold's Gym. Maybe I did back in the day.
Did you ever go to the Vasa that we used to go to? Was it Gold's Gym
Yeah, I
that we
didn't.
do? I mean the Vasa we go to on a regular basis was it Gold's
Yeah,
Gym? Did
weekly,
you ever go? Did
5
you go
times a
there
week.
before it was Vasa?
I don't think I did.
Really?
So that
Huh?
one was food for less, and then became Gold's Gym,
Yes. Yes.
and then became Vasa now. I don't know what it
Correct.
was before that, but no, I don't think I ever went into there as a Gold's Gym.
Interesting.
I don't think I ever worked at a Gold's Gym. I went to Planet Fitness
Hmm.
in high school, which Gold's Gym would have been around, but Gold's Gym always had that stigma,
You know,
and I think
I
Vasa does as well. Even though on the website it's like we're very inclusive and we have everybody, and that's probably true. You have everybody, all the walks of life, but it seems like Vasa's a little more. You're really serious. You want to lift weights. You want to yell. You want to be a gym bro. In Planet Fitness, they offer pizza like every week. So it's like very different kind of vibes with each place. Is that a fair assessment from your perspective?
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's people at Planet Fitness that are serious about fitness and getting in shape.
Well,
But
they have what do they call it? They have like that
the
alarm goes
alarm,
off. What do they
yeah,
call it? I can't remember if you're grunting,
clunking. I don't know.
something like that. Yeah, each one has its own
But
vibe.
maybe the vibe is that way because Planet Fitness has drilled it in my head so much that they are not like Vasa. Like we don't do that here. But I feel like I haven't dealt with that at Vasa that I was dealing with.
No, I don't think every once in a while you'll get the bigger dudes who are getting pumped up and I felt like it was bigger back in like the 90s that guys did that, but I don't think people do as much anymore. Just trying to my dad always called it the attention grunt. They just wanted people to my dad was really big into working out and I was younger. But anyways, but yeah, the whole grunting to say, "Hey, look at me! Look at all this weight I'm lifting."
Mm,
And honestly, nowadays, like if people are doing it, I don't really care because most of us have our headphones in anyways, and we can't
true.
really hear or care. To me, the pet peeve of going to a gym is just when it's really crowded and you can't get on the machines you want to get on or the
Mm,
bench, whatever you need to do. Or I really liked 24-hour fitness, especially at the beginning, because they would have like a full-time employee that was just walking around cleaning machines and cleaning up. So the place was always organized. And then when I started going to Go's Gym a little bit, the free weights were just all over the flipping place. Nobody ever put them back. So it just looked like you're going to a daycare and their toy section and there's toys everywhere because nobody ever put their weights back. But
yeah,
I feel like Vasa has kind of
it got a lot
turned
better.
that around. Yeah, they better, except that their basketball floors are a freaking mess. They're dirty and chopped up and beat up. So but it doesn't matter. I don't really play basketball anymore, anyways. 24-hour fitness. I played a lot of basketball. 24-hour fitness. So
I played a little of Vasa, but I've always had because they've got. I'm sure every gym has like a tier system, right? You kind of alluded to it a little. You alluded to it at the beginning that you have a pass that only lets you go to one place, but then your friend has one where you can go to other take a guest or whatever. So they've got how many tiers do they have at Vasa right now?
I don't know, but there's different things. I think like they have like I think it's only like what $10 to start, and you're really only supposed to use the
$5 right now. Five
how
down.
much?
It says five down in all passes. Ends May 5th. So
Well, $5 down, but how much is it a
oh,
month?
probably yeah. You're probably right.
And then they have
I don't know. It's like $15.
okay, that
They've
sounds about
increased
right.
their prices. It used to be 10, but what I'm seeing right now, and they might do like if you sign up in January or something, you get like usually do some kind of a deal.
Well, a lot of like Planet Fitness. What's the other one?
EOS.
EOS, and now even Vasa on their lower tier stuff is you pay this really low monthly fee, but then they have like a yearly, I don't even
Cleaning.
whatever maintenance fee that you pay. So you end up paying 15, $20 a month anyways. Just interesting how they do that. It's just a way to make you think that you're not paying as much as you are.
Mm-hmm.
But it's interesting how Vasa, they had to, because when Planet Fitness came into the game and EOS and all that stuff, their membership fees are so low. So they're losing a lot of members. So like, okay, we got to offer something to compete. And they're like, okay, but if you're doing the say that, back when it was $10 a month, you can only use the exercise equipment. You can't use
Can't do
you were
basketball.
basketball. You weren't supposed to use like the
The
sauna and
sauna,
pool and all that stuff.
the massage chairs or whatever.
Yeah. But I mean, how do they really regulate whether or not you're using the gym or the sauna and all that stuff? The only ones they can regulate is, and this sucks too, is because even the one in South Jordan used to have them. The one that we went to used to have them too, but the racquetball courts. They used to have racquetball, and they've been taking those out and putting other things in. The ones in South Jordan, within the last year, they've replaced the racquetball courts, and it's
Like the bigger workout section or
yeah, they kind of have like CrossFit type sections they've been putting in a lot of those places, the racquetball courts, and the one in
the one
South
in
Jordan.
Taylorsville isn't it used to be kind of in the back and they replaced it with like so you can do
CrossFit type
squats and
stuff. Yeah,
cleans and
yeah,
that kind
kind
of
of like
stuff.
CrossFit type stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then yeah, it stinks. I used to go with a friend there when it was Gold's Gym. I think it was Gold's Gym and play racquetball. And then I was like, cool. When I started going to South Jordan, one like they still have racquetball, and then they took that away. So it's interesting how racquetball is just going. Pickleball is ruining everything. Brandon, it's taken away tennis courts, racquetball courts. That's really where they could make some money, is if a gym would just dedicate half the gym for pickleball courts. Because I would pay Lifetime Fitness, and that's another gym that I've been to.
You're a gym bro for
I mean,
sure.
yeah, it's amazing that I look the way I do because I've been to a lot of gyms in my lifetime. But Lifetime in South Jordan, I think it's something like at least $150 a month, if not
Wow.
more, to
That's a
be a
cool
member
gym.
there. Have you been there before?
No, I've just seen pictures, but it's cool.
It's cool. It's a little upper classy, and it's almost like you're walking into almost like a mall. It feels like they have a huge cafe. The swimming pool's huge, indoor slide, all that good stuff. And they've been changing They used to have two basketball courts, but now they only have one because they put three pickleball courts on the other basketball court. They have outdoor pickleball courts, but the pickleball courts, the indoor ones, they're not good. They didn't do it well. But my point is, a sports mall, which I've been to before too, but I don't ever worked out there. I've only played volleyball there. But I believe they took out their sand volleyball courts to put in pickleball courts. And I think that's the genius plan. Because I was going to say, I would be willing to pay $100 plus a month for a gym membership if I had the opportunity to play on decent pickleball courts. And I'm not talking about the basketball courts, like a real pickleball court. So I think that's where an opportunity is for gyms to start getting more members, is doing something like that. So do it, Vasa. Get rid of something and
What do they get rid of?
get rid of their basketball courts. They're useless.
Yeah. I mean,
No, a lot of
they go a lot.
yeah, they get used quite a bit. Actually, some of the lifetime members are pretty upset that they took away, because now they won't let them. It's only open play basketball. You can't play like games. because they only have the one court.
Just go find a church, guys. Come on. We've got
I know.
an endless supply of basketball courts. We don't need more.
Yes, that's true.
We should schedule a tour because I want to go check that one out. We should
Which one?
just at Lifetime. I
Oh,
want to
I
go.
could probably. I
Wanna
got
go see it.
connections there. I know
Oh
some
yeah.
peeps there. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we could also do a tour. There's you can schedule a tour. They'll try and sell us.
I
but-
did. They had a call it like kind of beat the pro type pickball thing there a couple weeks ago that I did. So that was fun.
I know you've done the Vasa red thing before.
Oh, what do they call it? Red zone.
Yeah.
I've done that.
Tell me about that because
I did Bootylicious last year.
Oh yeah, nice. Did it work?
That was funny. We thought it was a dance class, and it kind of was, but it was. I thought it was going to be almost like, I guess the only way to say it, like a stripper dance class or something like that. So we brought some friends with us, my wife and I. I thought it would be super hilarious, and it was. But the girl ended up just teaching us like a choreographed dance. Like it was like a little dance class, you know what I mean? Like we were going to go put on a show. So I was like, I thought we were just going to learn like moves or going to be kind of like hip hop abs or something like that. That's what I thought it was going to be, but more like bootylicious type stuff.
Yeah.
So I've done that. I've done some few classes. I've done some workout classes there. I did the what do they call it? Red? What did you just call it?
So
Studio Red.
Studio Red, right.
Studio Red, I think, was their way to compete with F45.
So what is it? Like why
Have you ever been to F45?
No. What's Studio Red? Because I mean I see the room and I can't imagine working out in that red dim room.
Yeah, so that, like I said, it was their way to compete with F45 because F45, I think, going back to the expensive memberships, it's like $140 a month. It's over $100 a month.
Jeez.
And you sign up for a class, and what they do is they have 4 different stations. One that's cardio weights, or yeah. So what are the bands like the
resistance bands?
Kind of no, like
the ones where you go like
No. Have you seen the one where like the people are like leaning backwards and pulling themselves up on these rope type, almost like you're water skiing?
No.
Anyway, so you have the 4 stations, and so it's really cardio and then something to do with building your muscles, cardio muscles. So like the Studio Red has exercise bikes, and then they'll have benches for like doing dumbbells stuff, and then they'll have the treadmills that are like the ones that you kind of self-propel. Do you know what I'm talking about? They're kind of like a U shape, and then you know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
So they have those, and then they have another station with these, I forget what the ropes or whatever they call it, and so you go like really hard on the cardio. I think it's 10 minutes each station. That's where you get at 45 minutes, 45-minute workout. So that's the way to combat it or to compete with it. So each station is like 10 minutes long, or maybe like 8 minutes, and you get 2-minute rest in between. And you just go really hard at each station. And then you switch.
Why do you need to be in the red dim lights?
I don't know.
Some kind of health benefit to it?
I don't know. I don't know if F45. I've been in F45s before, and I actually have some friends who own an F45, and they keep asking me to come. It's not my favorite type of workout because Studio Red, like I said, is the same concept. Because to me, they try to make it as fun as possible and as different as possible. But at the same time, I'm like, why can't we just do a simple push-up or simple sit-up or something like that? Like they have these weird ways of doing exercises that you're like, okay, this is like too complicated. Let's just do the straightforward stuff. And I think I personally would enjoy it more. But it will. I mean, if you went and did Studio Red like 3 times a week, you would have to get into shape. You couldn't avoid it. But you go hard for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, so if you want to do that pass, that gives you that access. So you got 15 for the basic, no annual commitment, 25 for access to all clubs and premium amenities and some group classes, and $45 a month for the F45 experience. I'm sorry, for the Studio Red experience.
How much?
45.
Which is still, like I said, it's a
It,
good deal
if
compared to
F45 is like
F45.
150, that's not bad.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's why I think there's a lot of F150 or F45, sorry, F45s that are going.
It should be F150.
F150. They should just have the price and the name. But yeah, they're it's hard to keep your members there, I believe. So they're the one in Draper's gone down, the one in West Jordan, I noticed has gone down. So I think it's hard to turn a profit on that, especially I think it hurts even more when Vasa started doing the Studio Red. Because like I said,
It's a lot cheaper.
Yeah, for four, and you get with F45, they're really small. You don't need a whole lot of space compared to a regular gym because you really just have the room that you need for doing the workouts, the size of F4 Studio Red.
Mm-hmm.
But if you pay $45 a month, you basically get F45, but you get other things that go along with it, like a swimming pool that nobody uses, hot tub, sauna, steam room, showers, lockers. Spin class. That's one I have never done. I've never done a spinning class before.
I do like the cinema. What is it?
Oh, the
Watching the movie while you're running.
cardio cinema cardio or something like that. Karmasin.
Is that the one we've done before where we just go in on the treadmill and there's a movie going on?
Yeah, I love that.
That's fun.
They used to, when they first started doing it, I think it was Gold's Gym that did that put those in. You just never knew what movie was going to be playing, and they just put a random movie in, and they change it throughout the day.
Well, they do a schedule now, right?
And now they have a schedule, but they just repeat it, which is smart because I think a lot of times, especially at Gold's Gym when it was opening, the movie would end and it would just be a blank screen or the title, the menu, whatever, forever.
The DVD menu.
But now that they figured it out where it's like, okay, let's have every day is a different movie and we'll just have it on repeat. And then it just replays the whole day. So I'll do that when I do go to Vasa. I'll take I don't know if they have it on, they probably do have it online or in the app, but I just take a picture of like, okay, maybe this day I'll come over. I always have intentions like this is a good day to come over and just walk and watch a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I've done that multiple times where I'm like done with my workout and then I see like they're playing the Karate Kid. So I'll just go in there and watch the movie and walk, which is genius. I like it. It's hard for me. It's hard for me to sprint on a treadmill when I'm trying to focus my attention somewhere else, like on a TV or a game or something like that. But if you think about it, like if we were watching the NHL playoffs right now, if you just had your treadmill going, or if you're at Vasa and just walking, it's a no-brainer. You don't have to think a lot. And you'd be like in the best shape of your life. But I do love the cardio cinema thing. I love that.
Don't they do one with like ellipticals and stuff too? I think they have a separate room that does that as well.
No, I think they have a few ellipticals in the cinema. They have ellipticals, a couple bikes, and some other things in there. But treadmill seems to be the most popular. I feel like people use.
Okay.
But they have a whole separate section, for cardio. You've seen that where you can do the ellipticals and the treadmills and the
stair climber,
another thing, rope pull thing.
Yeah. I can't get a good gauge of how many locations there are. There's a lot. I mean, they're a big company.
Well,
they've got
they expanded outside of Utah as well.
Yeah, they got Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Utah, and Wisconsin. But it also says their thing says they're in 11 different states, but I don't see 11 states on here. So maybe that's old news.
I see they're in Colorado, Arizona, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, and Wisconsin. Is that what you
just said? I didn't see Kansas. So maybe Kansas is as well, but yeah, I can't get a list like a list where I can see the number of gyms, how many they have in total, but They got a lot. They got a pretty big footprint.
Yeah, but it seems like Utah's still their core market, though, right?
Yeah, I think so. I bet they've got Idaho's pretty locked down. Arizona, like the neighboring states they probably got quite a few locations. But to be honest, I was a little surprised. So I looked at our local Vasa, the one we used to go to. So that's our frame of reference. And just was curious what people saying about it. What do the reviews look like? And they've got pretty favorable reviews, more favorable than I was expecting.
Really?
And they got they're sitting at a 4.2, and it's overwhelmingly 5 stars. So
5 stars.
5 stars. Is there an incentive? Do they like when they sign you up? Do they give you a discount when you give them a good review or something? I'm trying to just decide how they get such good reviews. And I'm not saying I've had a bad experience at this one. There's nothing that was really like I really need to say it's bad.
Like I said, I didn't really necessarily enjoy Gold's Gym. I don't think they took care of it super well, but I feel Vasa's done a better job.
Let's see. So 3 years
And
ago, someone said that it's always unorganized and dirty. Staff is always on their phones. I have noticed the phones, but I don't really care. I don't need their help. Cardio machine's broken. Yeah, they do. It feels like there's a lot of broken treadmills at this location that I've seen in the past.
yeah, I actually have a friend. That's what he does for his job is fix exercise equipment. So I'm sure they keep pretty busy.
This person said Vasa doesn't hesitate to take their maintenance fee from your bank account, but they don't use the money to fix or replace their equipment. More than half of their cardio equipment doesn't work. Seats on the equipment have tears or are worn out. Yeah, I mean, I can see that. So that would be a good gig, fixing gym equipment. I mean, they got plenty to do here.
Oh yeah. Well, if you had just Vasa as your only account that you did it, I think you would
You'll be busy.
busy.
The Dukes 4 months ago said, "Grumpy, unhappy people. Nobody is friendly."
And today's anti-grumpy day.
Oh, come on, man. You should know.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Employees being their issues to work. I am a small business owner and pride myself on customer service. You should welcome people with a smile and respect. Not happening at this location. Another person saying their machines are all broken. Terrible location is the Voss with all the broken cardio machines. Bathrooms were disgusting. Floor sticky. Treadmills make noises. No music, so it's really awkward. I feel like they play music in there, don't they?
I don't know. I feel so. Maybe. I think they do.
Who listens to gym music?
Right? Because they can't be pumping it because then everyone's like, dude, I have my own music going. It's too loud.
I feel like I've noticed music in the background, but again, I always have my own thing in there. And if it's too loud and you're with somebody, you can't talk to them anyway. This person says Planet Fitness over this place. This whole company is a scam. Make sure that if you sign up, you read every fine detail. They like to hide stuff. I mean, I don't know. I was a little frustrated when I canceled my last membership because they like make you pay for your last month or whatever, which I thought was kind of dumb. I'm like, I just want to be done with it. Like I'm canceling it on time. I don't want to have a whole other month of service when I'm not gonna go, you know. So that was annoying, but at the same time, I get it. I'm not gonna lose my mind over it, but I don't feel like there's anything else they did that scammed you. They're pretty upfront with the maintenance fee. They're not gonna just raise your prices on you.
I would rather, though. I don't want a large bill, I guess you could say, in the middle of the year. Like, just spread it out throughout my memberships. I know every month what my bill is going to be. That's my
just
preference.
Consistency.
But I get it. I get the whole marketing idea of it. So
yeah, maybe there's a way you could talk to them about it and be like, "Hey,
I don't because of
probably not.
my contract. They know I don't get charged that fee, so because it wasn't part of my original contract. But it's still frustrating that I can't go to any Vasa. And it made me frustrated too, going back to 24 Fitness. You haven't even touched on this, and you should be touching on this because you're the one that still has little ones. But they do have a daycare.
Ah,
So, and when I signed up my 24 Fitness, it came with like unlimited daycare. So I did take my kids quite a bit when they were younger and dropped them off at 24 Fitness daycare. And one time, like I can't remember. The economy wasn't doing well, as it never is, right? But I dropped my kids off, and when I picked them up, they're like, "Hey, how are you going to pay for this?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "Yeah, you have to pay for it now." I'm like, "How can you take something out of my contract? Like, how can you just change my contract?" So, anyways, so that was
can't change
frustrating.
the
The good news
rules.
is, yeah, but luckily the kids were a little bit older, so I didn't really need it. But I also know when I switched over to Vasa, when they took that contract, they also like made it clear that daycare wasn't included. So I don't get daycare with mine. So I
Too
can't
bad.
drop you off. I can't drop you off.
Do they have a daycare at the one in Taylorsville? I don't think they
Mm-hmm.
do. Really?
Don't they?
I
Or
don't
they
think
used?
so.
Did they? No, they don't, huh?
The only one I
No, they do. Do they?
wait. No, they don't.
Wait,
Yes, they
hold on.
do.
Wait.
Wait.
Yes, they do. Do it? Or am I thinking the other one?
The
I
one
thought they
in
used to.
off of Redwood in West Jordan, I'm pretty sure does.
And the one over in South Jordan, I believe, does as well. I
What's
swear
your
the
which
one.
one's your pass set to right now?
Which one am I set
What's
at?
your location?
The one that we went to. I
Oh,
haven't
still.
changed it. So I think they charged me like a fee if I want to change it to another one.
Have you been back since?
To that one? Yeah. I've been a few times on my own. So but it's
Maybe
been a
this
while.
maybe this is a good time for us to start the summer of Nate and Brandon. And we go back to the
The
gym.
Nate and Brandon challenge. We'll do a Vasa challenge.
A
And then
Vasa challenge?
we'll be the spokesperson for Vasa because
After we
be
just
like,
dragged him through the mud for a whole episode?
yeah.
No,
And
we
we'll love
weren't that
them.
bad. We weren't that bad.
No, I think overall they're great. I mean, there's a few complaints. Nobody's perfect, but like I said, the whole contract thing kind of frustrating to me that you buy a contract, but then you can change the contract. Can I just change it? Can I say in there that they owe me every time I go to the gym?
You should try it.
So I don't understand that aspect. But overall, it is what it is, and they do have. There's a Pickler, which is a pickleball place in Salt Lake in the Brickyard area, and like I was just saying, the coolest thing would be to have a gym and the pickleball courts. But they do have a Vasa Fitness right next door to the Pickler in Salt Lake. But it's like
No joint venture going on there.
well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's great because then I could go work out and play pickleball. But part of the reason I want the pickleball in the gym isn't necessarily for the weights. I want it for like the sauna and the hot tub and showers and all that good stuff. And they do have showers there at the one in the Brickyard, but they don't have a pool or sauna or anything like that. It's kind of just weights and cardio. It's smaller. It's a smaller Vasa. I don't think they even have a basketball court.
Well, here's the hack. Just get a cheaper membership and just try and get away with the other stuff. And then you have to pay for the extra fee. There's no point.
Yeah. Well, I think the Studio Red, they give you, because you get assigned a number. So when you're going to the different stations, you stay in your, like if you're number one, you used to go to station one each time.
Yeah, you
That
probably
would be
have
hard to
to
sneak in.
probably have to pay
But
for that.
But if you wanted to sneak into like the aerobics class or a dance class or a spin class, I highly doubt they would be able.
They
Especially
offer free stuff all the time too. Like,
well, they
hey,
offer free stuff, but
it's a free
you,
weekend. You know, everybody can whatever pass you have, you can come.
yeah. But if you were to go into like the boot camp exercise class, they would have no idea whether or not what pass you have. You're supposed to sign up for it, but they wouldn't know.
I had the basic pass, and you and I have gone into the sauna.
Have we?
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't. And we played basketball before.
Yes.
So
Yes, we have.
anyways.
We're gonna go back to the gym. Let's do
Well,
it.
you can't. The massage chairs, you can't get away with those because you have to
No.
scan your membership.
Some
That's the
things they're gonna
unfortunate part.
gatekeep pretty hard. Other things they'll let slide. They
So
let
even
basketball
now,
slide.
I think I was trying to. Anyways, I was trying to scan my barcode, like take a picture of it and put it in my photos. That way, when I showed up, I didn't have to pull up the stupid app because I feel like every time I go there, like it takes a minute for the app to download because I never use it. But I don't know if you noticed, but recently they made it so if you take a screenshot of your barcode, it won't show the barcode.
Oh, really?
So I can't take a screenshot of my barcode and send it to you to use.
Well, doesn't it pop up with your picture anyway?
Well, right. But I guess you could technically alter that too, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just interesting. I just thought it was weird. I didn't know there was that technology. But I was like, I just want to save my barcode to my photos, and that way it'd be easier to find every time I go check in. But can't do that. Interesting, huh?
Yeah.
What if I took a picture of the picture?
I bet you could do that. Maybe not. I don't know.
Like you take a picture of my barcode,
and then I can send it to you.
Then you forward it to me, and then I have it in my.
They're gonna hear this and they'll be like, "Oh no, they figured it out."
No loophole.
Vasa Gym, not a bad place. Let us know where you work out, if you work out, if you get swole. Anything else to say, Nate? Any
That's
final
all,
words of
folks.
wisdom? Any more workout jokes? You only did really one. You get nothing else up your sleeve?
Wasn't there a joke that says, I named my toilet Jim? So I tell people I go to the gym every day. I think I'm working out. Something like that.
That's a good one.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in a gym, is the pump.
Oh yeah, Arnold impressions. Come on, give us your best Arnold impression, Nate.
Arnold.
Thank you for listening to This Is a Place podcast.
This place is the best. It's not a tumor.
And don't forget, you're my number one customer.
You're my number one customer.